tell you what, Ealing sure has been busy. Slovenes, Daleks, Bumhole Face Man, Maria's Mum, Spiritual Queens, Sontarans, Bradley Walsh, and if you think it's going to stop anytime soon, then you are just heckin' stupid. Look at you. Yeah, little Dumbo.
I don't understand. I did nothing wrong to you.
However, just quickly, I do just want to say a huge thank you to Malcolm Hope for being an absolute mad lad, along with my other channel members for supporting the channel as always. Thank you so much. Join today. Well, this is like a little routine now. You guys know the drill. We are ranking and reviewing every episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures Series 3. And this has the potential to be my favourite series of them all. No particular reason whatsoever. Okay, shush and mush, just shut up a minute. Yes, I have a tier list ranking from perfect all the way down to the pits and spooks of god awful. Doesn't that just give you so much chills right now? I will break down every single episode, give some super meaningful insight, and then place them in said tier list, okay? So I hope you don't mind me rambling on in the background whilst you complete some super important work, or whilst you're playing whatever it is you're playing. What are you playing, actually? Are you playing Habbo Hotel? Nuts choice. Anyways, guys, Sarah Jane Adventures is now in high definition, and I'm going to sink my teeth into Series 3. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. Prisoner of the Judoon.
A genetically engineered boy genius in the attic.
Yeah, so they've started doing the thing that Torchwood does, where they just very quickly explain the show and its characters at the start of every episode. It's very annoying when you're binge watching, but I guess it makes sense for a kids show that was airing like once a week, I suppose.
My name is Sarah Jane Smith.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Hello. Yeah, so the episode starts with Sarah explaining who she is and her situation with this nutty transition. Life is going really good for Sarah Jane, and she's currently having a tour of this facility where they are studying nanotechnology with some cracking CGI. Sarah gets kicked out for asking the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, well, I'll take that as a no comment then, shall I?
Oh, Sarah, you little rascal. Oh, and then a completely subtle meteorite starts heading towards Earth. Of course, in Ealing, where else would it land? But it turns out it's a Judoon spaceship. So the gang decide to go and find it before Unit does.
They don't know about Mr. Smith, and they're not going to.
I won't lie though, it sounds like Unit really need a computer like Mr. Smith, because he can fucking pick up everything. Oh my god, interruption due to chipnal aiming! Yes, guys, a Judoon is trying to chase down a Prisoner of the Judoon. That's the episode name. That's crazy. Yeah, the prisoner absolutely clarts Mr. Rhino Man.
Jedon.
Oh, the Judoon just got clarted. That's a pretty pointless straitjacket if he managed to clobber him with a plank of wood. Not before he starts licking his lips at some little girl. Questionable stuff.
Who was your prisoner?
Androvax the Annihilator.
Oh damn, this guy is the real business. Destroyer of worlds? How spooky. So the gang agree to help the Judoon find him. They find creepy little girl just standing there looking at the ceiling. Yeah, damn. Something's a little bit off though.
And perhaps you can tell me why my scanner has been reading you as not really human.
Oh snap, he's a shapeshifter. Jiminy Crickets, he can go inside children. And of course, he decides to go inside Sarah Jane, and that's when things start getting really uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. So, possessed Sarah Jane finds Mr. Smith. This is where things get a little bit kinky, I'm not gonna lie.
Is your central processor fully functioning?
The comedy is in top form again when the Judoon holds a roadman at gunpoint for playing his music too loud.
Oh boy, don't they teach you anything in Jedon Police Academy?
Just shoots him. So in the subplot of this episode, Geeta is trying to expand her business by delivering flowers to corporate companies for free. Yeah, I know, just genius business plan that is. So they decide to do this at the nanotech company, in which they inevitably get caught for trespassing.
Do you want to tell me what you think you're doing?
Oh, hello.
I think you better come with me.
But holy smokes, possessed Sarah has turned up too, because Androvax needs the nanotech to build a new spaceship. And then the episode ends on a super dramatic cliffhanger. Rani, Luke and Clyde see that Mr. Smith has activated his self-destruct protocol. Oh my god, holy moly guacamole, how the hell are they going to get out of this one? I don't fucking know. And that's the end of part 1. This episode is really funny. I love that the show keeps its comedic tone in the new series. It really works great for children's TV, making some of the aliens just funny whilst the others are bit more spooky. So yeah, the comedy is great, the villain is intriguing, but I do think it might be another case in which the villain is just slightly anticlimactic in the second part, and spooky possessed Sarah is incredibly uncomfortable to watch, I'm not gonna lie. But consider me very intrigued. Let's hope they keep things up for the second part. Part 2. So Luke manages to gaslight Mr. Smith into not self-destructing himself. And this is the genius side of Luke that I like. Not typing gibberish code, but actually using logic and negotiation. Big thumbs up from me. Elisabeth Sladen continues her super creepy performance.
They're going to build me a spaceship.
I don't know if I'm cringing or if I'm slightly aroused at this point. I'm feeling very confused. So a whole squadron of Jedoons are coming to Earth. So the gang have to stop Androvax before the Jedoon arrive.
To cover my tracks, then to destroy.
Jesus, I'm so uncomfortable right now. So Rani's mum and dad easily escape by keys that are just conveniently left in the room with them. Well, that's super convenient and lucky, isn't it? But the nanobots have begun building Androvax's spaceship. This episode keeps up the great comedy by having Rani and her parents just narrowly missing each other throughout this whole episode, and it's great. However, the Jedoon squadron arrives. This is where Daddy Rani tries to be a super big man.
And I demand to know what you're doing here.
Perhaps we should just let them get on.
Female of species more intelligent.
Yeah, that got a laugh out of me, fair play. So the gang lock the Jedoon in an electro-dampening chamber. I don't know, stops him from using electrics or something. This is so he can keep his distance while they go and find Sarah Jane Smith, which they do.
Don't you want to give me?
Huh?
Ew. Yeah, they have this like cringe standoff where Luke is all like, my mum's like super strong and she'll beat your ass. I'm not even joking or nothing. Yeah, Luke then gets possessed as well. OM Jizzle, the nanobots are chasing Ronnie and Clyde, so they use a fire extinguisher or something. Okay, that's cool. So Androvax's spaceship has been completed, and it's basically just a large room wrapped in rose gold tinfoil. I love BBC budget. We then get this super sad little X-Factor sob story where we learn that Androvax's planet was destroyed, so now he's destroying other planets for vengeance. Oh my god, that's such a good motive. Oh look, now Luke is typing gibberish and typing in code to save the day. Man, that's a real shame. Yeah, the day's saved by Luke doing more typey gibberish code stuff. Typical Sarah Jane fashion. Anyway, so then the Jedoon's all like, oh, Joe, Mo, blow. You guys are grounded, by the way. You can't leave the planet. Oh, Joe, blah, 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 go, blah, blah. Yeah, they're grounded. They can't leave Earth. That's hilarious. I'd find it more funny if I wasn't so deflated from that resolution. But yeah, the episode ends with Geeta telling Rani that they've seen aliens, and Rani's dad is acting all mystical now that he has a new lease of life. It is quite funny, I guess. But that is the end of the story. Story-wise, this episode is actually kind of forgettable. Not gonna lie. The comedy is really what carries this story. There are some genuinely hilarious moments. However, that's where it really stops. Androvax is barely seen, which is a shame because seeing Sarah possessed gets really cringy and uncomfortable. Other than that, this story has nothing really to shout from the rooftops about. So yeah, I'm just going to put this story in okay. Yeah, shame really. The Mad Woman in the Attic. Boy who looks vaguely like Luke, but isn't Luke, breaks into Sarah's attic in the year 2059. I'll be 59 years old. I will be 59 years old. He comes across an old lady who's just staring at this wall.
My name is Rani. Rani Chandra.
What the frick happened to Rani? Yes, Rani has turned into a boomer. Am I right, my skibbity rizzlers? Is this bit getting old now? Because every time I do it, I just feel myself aging. I'm gonna stop, okay?
I wanted your name, not your life story.
Oh god. Yeah, sorry. I think that just triggered my PTSD.
Finish your life story.
So Boomer Rani explains that everyone has gone, which is hardly surprising because Sarah Jane would be well over 100 at this point, and her parents would probably be pushing that as well. But it turns out they all went missing because Rani made a mistake. Ooh. Back in present day, we see Rani just try to fit in with the gang, but she gets ahead of herself again.
Rani!
There could have been a spaceship there,
Rani!
or...
It was lightning.
Then they start giving Maria that triple glaze.
Marie's been helping the government hide aliens. She's the new Sarah Jane.
So this makes Rani feel all left out and makes her feel like she's just a sad replacement. So Rani has a little tantrum.
Then.
She then receives an email from another Luke Smith lookalike, explaining that loads of people have gone missing at this super spooky amusement park. So to prove herself to Sarah, and as a soon-to-be journalist, she breaks in and she meets Caretaker Man. She pretends to hurt her ankle to get into his office.
Is that you?
He was so good looking.
Ew, no, Rani, no, you are a child. This is not appropriate.
Here. Alone.
I'm sorry, what the hell is happening here? What is going on? So Caretaker Man is all like, please, you should go, you should go. Just like Mr. Magpie from The Idiot's Lantern. But then we hear...
Playtime is beginning.
Then the missing people come out and sit on all of the rides. It's really quite sinister and spooky. So the gang are having trouble contacting Rani, so Clyde just pops over to her house and prints off her emails. Yep, how convenient and easy that was. All happened off screen as well. Nice job, Clyde. So Sarah, Luke and Clyde go and visit this Luke Smith lookalike. Meanwhile, Rani is eager to find out what's happening, and she finds this red alien girl.
Are you my new friend?
Obviously, this episode is focusing on Rani's self-worth and feeling like a disappointment or a replacement. But in case you weren't getting that, Eve just explains it to us.
You worry about a girl called Maria. You worry that Sarah Jane Smith doesn't think you're as good as her.
Yeah, wow, this is some nuanced characterization here. So this Eve alien can read people's minds and can see the future. And because of her race's ability to see into the future, they were wiped out. She's just a sad and lonely evacuee. So she wants to help people have fun. It's nice to see an alien that doesn't have evil intentions, even if her actions come across that way. It's a change of pace from kidnapping kids for war or world domination. Anyway, so Sarah finds the amusement park and tries to have a little chat with the customers.
Hello? Can you see me?
Can you see me? Yeah.
She then meets Harry, who pretends he's never even met Rani.
She's thick and stupid.
Well, I thought she seemed all...
Gotcha.
Oh, top 10 IQ moment right there. Bazinga, you've been roasted. Eve reiterates Rani's struggles with these hilarious flashbacks.
She's the new Sarah Jane.
Rani then makes a massive oopsie.
I wish they'd just leave me alone.
Whoa, hey!
So Eve shows Rani her future, which Rani then freaks out, leaving us on this cliffhanger.
So alone. The mad old woman of Bannerman Road.
Tab. Bars. I like that we're getting a Rani-centered episode, focusing on her fears of rejection and doubting her self-worth. I like that the alien isn't actually evil, at least it seems this way so far. The possessed homeless people are genuinely creepy, and I quite like the direction of this episode. Not sure if I'm a fan of Eve just standing there listing all of Rani's character traits and concerns multiple times, but then again, it is just a kids show, so, can't complain too much. But I am intrigued to see where part 2 goes. Part 2. The episode starts in true Russell T Davies 2 fashion.
I'm a journalist, Sarah Jane Smith.
Danger, mistress.
Damn, they've really been doing this the entire time. Rani is super spooked out by her future of being a loopy boomer lady, so she's adamant to put a stop to this. She wants to send Eve back home. Wow, future reform voter this one, isn't it? Jesus. Turns out that Luke lookalike tricked Rani into coming to the amusement park because Eve read his mind and knew that Rani knows about aliens and stuff. So Sarah and Clyde are searching the spooky mine ride, where of course we get some spooky little jump scares. I knew that was going to happen. Then the four of them bump into each other. Sarah tells Rani, hey, you're just a silly girl. And then Rani's all like, no, I'm not. And then Sarah's like, yes, you are. And then Rani's like, no, I'm not. And then Sarah's like, yes, you are. So Rani's absolutely fuming. She takes Eve outside and then all the rides start going skits. Then Rani and Eve have a little tiff. So Eve says, bun that, you're going to be young forever then, Lamau. Rani, no!
Now she'll be young and happy forever.
To be fair, I'll sign up for that. I'm terrified of growing old. Oh no. Me, when I'm on my period. Yes, women, I understand your feelings. Periods, it's where you fart from the front or something. But it turns out this spooky mirror on the wall is just trying to protect Eve because her ship is broken and it just needs to refuel. So the alien of this episode does in fact have no evil intentions. Big thumbs up. So in a last-ditch attempt to save the day, they take Eve back to her broken ship on the beach. Oh dear, this looks bad. Oh dear, that looks bad.
My head hurts.
Bless them.
I want this to stop.
I love how every spaceship in the Sarah Jane Adventures series is just so empty.
Draw the energy from you.
Why, this looks bad. Damn, that's 2 for 2 now, where the alien spaceship is just a huge empty room. Nice use of budget there. Anyway, Eve fingers a spaceship and everyone stops being possessed. Turns out Eve's ship just needed energy from a black hole for fuel. Well, luckily, little old K9 has just been mindlessly chilling with one for the last 3 series.
I'm getting bored here! For goodness sake! I'm getting bored!
So K9 comes home and it appears that the day is saved. Rani gets that validation that she is smart and she is integral to the team, which is just what she needed. So we've seen some lovely character development. Sam the orphan gets a happy ending too. He gets to travel with his new alien girlfriend. Even Harry the caretaker man gets to join them too. This is one really interesting TARDIS team, I tell you. But silly me, I should have known. The resolution seemed a bit too soon into the episode. So as a parting gift, Ship grants Rani her wish.
I need to grant you your wish.
My what? I wish they'd just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No.
I will grant you your wish.
No! Oh my god, that is a twist and a half I was not expecting.
Where are they?
I have granted your wish.
No, Ship!
Playtime is over.
And that's how she becomes the mad old woman.
Sarah Jane, Clyde, and Luke gone.
Okay, that's brought this episode back around again. Holy schmoly, what a spanner in the works. However, it does show that this old boomer Rani was not just a premonition or a potential timeline. No, this actually happens to her. But in a twist upon a twist, the other Luke lookalike turns out to be Eve's son. What?
She's my mum.
But you look human.
Oh my god, her and Sam bonked. Her and Sam bonked and made Adam. Oh my word.
What is your wish?
To put it right.
Your wish is my command.
Okay. He grants Boomer Rani a final wish, and that wish is to bring Sarah and everyone back, and time gets reset. Pretty decent ending, I'm not gonna lie. Eve and her new TARDIS team fly off in this fantastically CGI'd spaceship that I'm sure no civilians saw at all, and the day is saved.
That is
amazing.
They take a group selfie on a Nokia.
You can't see cheese.
Guys, I want to get in on this picture. I want to get in on this picture. And the episode ends. I like the themes of this episode. The fear of abandonment as a child and lacking in self-belief and feeling second best. Rani, Eve and Sam all go through this in this story. We see Sarah learn that sometimes it's okay to confide in your friends and not everyone is out to get you. So there's some really decent character development in this story. The twisty ending threw me, which I loved. But in terms of the overall story, it's fine. You know, nothing incredibly memorable, but everyone's performances were decent. I think the message behind the episode was great. This episode is just hindered with a few conveniences, like everyone just going through each other's emails with no issues. And the episode does look incredibly cheap, but you can't be too surprised by that on a CBBC show. So guys, I'm going to put this episode in good. The Wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. Finally! The episode I have been waiting for! During 2009, we had 4 specials to conclude the 10th Doctor's run. Planet of the Dead, Waters of Mars, and The End of Time Part 1 and 2. This episode I like to consider the Hidden Special. This episode was released during the time of these specials airing. My 9-year-old self was screaming that my Doctor was finally making an appearance in another one of my favourite TV shows. But was it as good as I remembered? So Sarah's been acting super sus, sneaking off to places, clearly lying to the gang, so they super subtly start spying on her. Mr. Smith is not happy about this, so K9 absolutely roasts him.
This is highly irregular behaviour.
Do not exceed your function, Mr. Smith. Your opinion has not been asked for.
The gang finds Sarah smooching this old man in a restaurant. Ugh, God, guys, get a room, please. I hear the TARDIS! I hear the TARDIS! I hear the TARDIS! And it really doesn't take long for Sarah to find out what the gang have been doing, because Mr. Smith and K9 rat them out, because they're absolute pussy snitches. But Sarah just can't stay mad, because she's super horny for this Peter bloke, I tell ya. But whilst Luke is all tucked up in bed, we hear the TARDIS's fanny flutters. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. The day arrives where everyone meets this super flash, super cool Peter guy. Geeta starts absolutely frothing for him.
Peter, this is Geeta from over the road.
Oh, Peter and Geeta. That's funny.
And Sarah just looks hella awkward. It doesn't help that she's also just received this package with terrible CGI alien inside. What the hell's in there? Oh no, that looks bad. Oh dear. Oh my god, that looks awful.
Robot dog, K9, get it? But it talks. Yeah.
It's gonna get hit by a car. Oh my god, that's possibly the worst looking CGI I've seen. Sorry, I don't like to focus on CGI, especially in a low budget kids show, but damn! Jesus Christ. Turns out Sarah found it on eBay or something, and then Mr. Smith just gets rid of it, so I'm not entirely sure what the whole point of this sequence was about, other than to just add some awkwardness or something. Sorry, that transition just made me laugh, I don't know why. Anyways, Clyde's spidey senses are tingling all over the place, right? And he finds out that Peter's house is all boarded up. Clyde doesn't like this, so him and Rani decide to go and take a little visit.
I knew it. Lair of the living dead.
It looks like it hasn't been lived in for ages. Which, yeah, is super intriguing. However, as we find out later, Peter is spared by the trickster, so he's technically still alive. So why is his house all boarded up? I don't get this bit, to be honest. Sarah later says he's living in a flat closer to his work, but it's clearly a lie, so I'm really not sure why his house is empty. Anyways, I wonder what he's doing.
Will you marry me?
Oh, for God's sake, he's proposing. Peter the love bomber. And it comes to no shock that her engagement ring actually starts to control her.
It's registered.
Initiate total deactivation, Mr. Smith. Protocol 5.
What on earth? Oh yeah, and the wedding is next week. Bloody hell, this is all moving a bit too fast. Oh no, I know that laugh from anywhere. So it's the wedding day. So the 4 wedding guests take their seat and prepare for a totally normal wedding.
Stop this wedding now!
God, Jiminy sweet crickets, it's the bumhole face man! He's back! Hell yeah! Something about my sweet David as the 10th Doctor just gets all of my juices flowing. But he brings a smile to my face whenever I see him. God, I love him so much. Yes, I'm a 10th Doctor dick rider, alright? I don't give a crunning flipping heck, alright? So I will only argue that this whole marriage setup is insanely rushed. Like, maybe they could have had this brewing throughout the series so far, just showing Sarah going on a few dates or something, just so that the trickster's reveal was a bit more shocking and we feel shocked by the fact that Peter is actually this secret dodgy bloke. But I suppose we can't really expect children to follow a series arc like that, so I kind of get it. Also, how is this story not a series finale? That's crazy to me. But yeah, the cliffhanger ends with the 10th Doctor being all like, "Oh, Sarah, no, stop this wedding." Anyways, I'm super intrigued for the second part, just so I can practically goon over the 10th Doctor's beautiful hair, beautiful face, beautiful body, beautiful charisma. Oh, one sec. One sec. I'm gonna go take a cold shower. Part 2. So, the trickster has separated everyone, trapping them in a 1-second time loop. Sweet niblets though, David's screen presence just steals the show. Him doing that typical weird Dr. Alien stuff with his usual cockiness and arrogance.
I'm pretty amazing on a good day.
God, I love him.
There's nothing out there.
Okay, yeah, so this shot don't look great. I'm not gonna lie. I simply just want to cry. I just want to cry. So as I was saying before I just started yearning for David again, Sarah is also trapped in another second time loop. And it appears that all she needs to do to fix this is to say "I do" to Stinky Pete. And then the day will be saved. No! Yes! Don't say it, Sarah! Don't do it! Same, Rani. Honestly, same. I also really love K9 when he's with the Doctor. I really see the history between them two, and I love it. Peter then reveals that he had an accident whilst working from home. And no, I don't mean he just peed his pants. He fell down the stairs in a way that definitely just wouldn't have killed him. I mean, no, come on, seriously. But anyways, the trickster had offered him to give him another chance at life as long as he marries Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane Smith. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm absolutely loving the white fit. The Doctor then speaks to the black version of the trickster, and this sequence really made me realise what influence a great actor can bring to the role of the Doctor. Yes, this is me just glazing David a bit more, but it's just the way he conducts himself when he speaks to the trickster. It's all with authority and confidence, and it doesn't come across as smug or completely arrogant. There's no over-the-top pantomime performance or any crying. It's just the Doctor just being flipping cool, and I really miss that. We've not seen this since the Capaldi days. Anyway, the TARDIS arrives and steals the Doctor, leaving the others on their own. Luckily, Clyde got some of that Artron energy, so he uses that to zap the trickster. Haha, get fucked, bumhole boy. The Doctor then arrives to guide Sarah on how to save the day, and he does his iconic, "I'm so super duper sorry. I'm so super duper sorry." And then he just dips. There's something about the way that Sarah's eyes light up whenever she speaks to the Doctor that I just adore. It makes me feel so emotional. You really feel the emotional weight of their relationship on her. She does the same in The End of Time as well, and it's just cracking stuff from Queen Lizzie. So Sarah convinces Peter to break their deal, and the day is saved. Bye, trickster. See you probably again at some point. I don't know. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sarah has to walk down the aisle alone and tell everyone that the wedding is off.
I'm afraid the wedding is cancelled.
I will say though, how's this going to look when everyone finds out that Peter's actually dead? Sarah's going to be prime suspect number one. That's what I'm going to say. The Doctor then lands in Sarah's attic and everyone asks, "Can I have a look inside, please? Can I have a look inside?"
What, in the TARDIS? My TARDIS?
Yeah, don't worry guys, I got the same treatment as well.
You're not good enough.
Sarah then asks the Doctor if it's the last time she'll ever see him.
Is this the last time I'm ever going to see you?
I don't know.
We all know that her escapades with the Doctor aren't done just yet. Ooh, I'm excited. But that's the end of the episode. So, the relationship side of things with Peter is hella rushed. And yes, it is kind of the point. However, I just feel like if they just fleshed this out a little bit more in the background of the series, I think it definitely would have been a bit more impactful. I also really think this episode should have been at the end of the series. It's just perfect Sarah Jane Adventures finale material. I will also say that this episode was an early indicator as to how easy it is to defeat members of the Pantheon. David Tennant, of course, steals the show. He is brilliant in this episode, and Glizzy Lizzie is fantastic as well. And I just love the dynamic between all characters in this episode. It's just a cracking bit of kids' TV. Am I looking at this with rose-tinted glasses? And am I being biased? Maybe, but I think this episode is great. And even though David is in it, I don't think it's quite perfect, but my God, is it bloody great. I love you, Doctor. I always have. And I always will. The Eternity Trap. This episode was one that I very vaguely remember watching at my nan's house when I was about 10, and I remember it spooking my pants off. This episode is set at Ashen Hill Manor. Back in 1665, Erasmus Darkening, aka Rassilon, works in this guy's basement claiming to make gold, but he's actually just a creepy alien boy who, yes, you guessed it, steals kids. Specifically, Captain Jack Sparrow's kids. Back in the present day, Ashen Hill is considered the hauntedest place in the UK. So Sarah and Lady from the Faris Institute conduct a little ghost hunt. As someone who used to do ghost hunting myself, I'm hella interested in this episode. Oh, and the ginger guy from Benidorm is in this episode as well, playing the exact same character pretty much. Well, he plays Toby, whose dad is a renowned scientist who disapproves of his son's choice in paranormal investigations, which I think does make for a really interesting character, because as a result, he's an awkward mess who's very passionate about his craft. They use a lot of very accurate paranormal investigating technobabble, which I personally think is a bit too complicated for kids' TV, but this episode makes up for it by just how spooky it is. The first sign of things going wrong is the sound of a bell tower, despite there not being one, so I'm actually not sure where that comes from or why that happens, to be honest.
What's that?
I didn't see any bell tower.
That's because there isn't one.
And the episode does get brought down somewhat by that janky old school RTD era POV shots that they like to do back in the day to save budget.
There's something seriously freaky about that place.
Clyde and Rani go investigating, and this is the one scene I do remember where you hear kids laughing and the sight of wet footsteps on the pavement. It's genuinely spooky.
Are you feeling freaked yet?
Yeah, fuck that for a laugh, mate. Fuck that. So the gang prepare for a nighttime ghost investigation, setting up cameras all around the house, and this is when the real spooky stuff starts. Oh no. There's always a rocking horse, isn't there? For God's sake. And this little baby mobile thing starts moving on its own. Yeah, full-on poltergeist activity starts at this point.
Something's happening.
Yes, Toby. Yes. Oh my god! Scientist lady has been stolen! No, this is too spooky for kids. This is too spooky for kids' TV. Yeah, creepy twinkly box starts going. The rocking horse starts going. Oh, for the love of God, this is terrifying. Despite all of this terrifying stuff happening, the gang decide to then split up again. And of course, things get more spooky. Sarah finds the scary ghost kids who warn Sarah that Rassilon is coming to get her. Ooh. We then hear this faint growling from outside, which explains the strange POV shots from earlier. So Sarah heads out to investigate. Oh, please don't ruin this story with bad CGI monster, please. Of course, they try and avoid showing it by using more POV shots, and then Captain Jack Sparrow saves Sarah. Rani and Clyde then discover that there's a secret passage, so in hopes of finding more clues, they go and investigate. Sarah and Toby then have a great conversation about how scientists mock paranormal investigators.
There is nothing scientific about ignoring phenomena just because it doesn't fit in with your view of the universe, Miss Smith.
But Toby defends it, explaining that it's just as valid as other scientific hypotheses. That's just cracking stuff. It's a really good sequence. But back to Rani and Clyde, they find Rassilon's spooky basement, and they find janky alien tech, and then Rassilon suddenly appears and says, "Ooh, I'm going to eat you now," or something along those lines. And that is the epic cliffhanger. I love this episode, right? It has such great Doctor Who vibes. Like, I was convinced I was watching the main show through most of this. Toby is a really interesting character, and a lot of this episode is genuinely scary. Like, I'm quite surprised this was approved for kids' TV. I feel like paranormal special effects are a lot more convincing than relying on terrible CGI, because the only parts of this episode that make me feel slightly nervous was the janky, ominous CGI monster that we didn't fully get to see, and we're still yet to learn more about this Mr. Darkening Rassilon man. I really hope this story doesn't become a complete cringe fest. But damn, am I excited for the next episode. Part 2. So Rassilon says, "You're mine." And then Captain Jack appears to save them. And then Rassilon just keeps saying his name really weird. Marchwood. Yeah, it's really weird. I also completely forgot that Professor Rivers was taken. But the episode does that usual creepy, "Oh, Sarah, help me, help me." Sarah hears this, but just instantly moves on when she sees Rani and Clyde. So Captain Jack comes back, and the gang let him know that his kids are still around, and that Rasmus Hoyland man has separated them by putting them on different frequencies or something. Then there's this really spooky moment when everyone that has gone missing over the last 400 years just appears on the stairs. They ask Sarah for her help, but then Rassilon just appears and is an absolute queen for this moment. Honestly, Queen, same. The episode then slows down for Rasmus Hoyland Rassilon Dark Boy Man, whatever his name is.
Know only that this is my world, that I rule all who cross its threshold.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who he is, he just wants the world, just like everyone else. I can't tell if he's just taking the piss now. So they all split up again. Why do they keep doing this?
How do you distract a ghost?
Find him a pretty girlfriend.
Ha 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 ha. Seriously though, these dad jokes that Clyde keeps doing throughout this series are getting worse and worse. That it's really starting to grate on me. Sarah and Toby have another interesting conversation about Toby's childhood. I love seeing Toby getting more anxious when he speaks about his father, but then it just demonstrates how passionate it's made him about his job, and I just think he's great. Anyway, so the house starts going all skits and stuff. Listen, I get that Rassilon is just trying to scare them or whatever, but we know he can just teleport, so why doesn't he just zap them or whatever it is he does and then just get rid of them instead of being all extra and stuff? Anyway, Sarah and Toby find Rassilon's alien tech, and then they discover that it's a broken portal or something, and Rassilon is using the people to fuel it or something. I don't know. I just think there's way too much techno-babble, timey-wimey stuff going on for kids to even understand what's happening. I can totally see now why I don't remember remember this story at all, despite knowing that I've definitely watched it multiple times. And then if they turn this thing off, all these people will be lost to the ether or something. So Rani and Clyde start getting chased by the ominous growling POV monster again. I'm starting to feel like this episode is just repeating itself now. The gang split up. They go to Rassilon's basement. Then the other person gets chased by Growly Monster Man, only to be saved by Captain Jack Sparrow. It's just, what's going on here? Rassilon appears again to do his usual, "You are going to die here, blah, blah, blah." Listen, at this point, mate, stop watching them and just bloody do it, for God's sake.
It's him or us.
Oh, Clyde, seriously, mate, stop it now, alright? You are the one character I agree with pretty much all of the time, but you are making it really difficult now. So yeah, as I was saying, Jack saves them from the growly monster and lets them back into the house, apparently, all off screen. Okay. And then the resolution to this episode is them trapping Rassilon in an electromagnetic field. But Rassilon doesn't fall for it, though. He's not a silly goose.
Miss Smith! Sarah Jane Smith.
Why are you saying it like that? Oh, never mind, he did fall for it. Oh, he's going now. Okay, the day's been saved. I just don't understand this resolution. He's been watching them and listening to them this entire time. Surely he heard them come up with this entire plan and was watching them set this all up. It's really stupid. So of course, Professor Rivers is returned because she wasn't fully absorbed or something.
What about Lord Marchwood and his children?
Don't know.
Yeah, I really wish that they didn't confirm this because I feel like this should have just been left up to interpretation. It would have made it a bit more interesting for the audience. But no, it does get confirmed that they were saved with this awful closing shot of him and his kids looking out the window. Yeah. Big yikes. Guys, this episode sucks. I honestly feel like Donald Sumpter was almost taking the piss in this episode. It just came across more cringe than it did just cheesy. And the fact that this Rasmus Darkening Man fell for Sarah Jane's trap despite hearing all of their conversations and watching them the whole time doesn't really make any sense. There was way too much techno-babble exposition nonsense that it almost felt like such a rushed ending. Also, what was the CGI monster thing? It's literally never explained. It just appeared twice just to be saved by Captain Jackman. So what was it? It's a shame because the first part was just nuts. But shock horror, it just turned into another "this world will be mine" episode, and it just bored me a little. I found Clyde really annoying in this episode, and I know he's being well within his character, but the fact that he's supposed to be this cheeky chappy lad with his quick quips, but the jokes he says are so clearly written by a middle-aged man that I can't believe that any teenager would come up with this stuff, and it's starting to get a little bit frustrating at this point. I feel like they spent most of their time making the first episode really spooky, which worked. It almost came at a detriment to the second part, and it harmed the actual resolution, and it just all felt really rushed. But Toby does make this story better. I do love him. Justice for Toby. I hope you succeed in life, King. But unfortunately, that's not enough. I'm putting this story in okay. Mona Lisa's Revenge. Okay, so this episode's really fucking weird. I can't lie. I have so many questions about this one, but we'll get to it. So basically, Rani's dad comes in to tell everyone that Clyde has won an art competition, which means that the whole class gets invited to the International Gallery. Turns out that Luke entered the competition on Clyde's behalf. So Clyde is super surprised by all of this. Then Sarah confronts Luke about his messy bedroom. Luke uses this opportunity to masterfully gaslight her.
You say you're trying to give me a normal life, but when I act like a real teenager, you want me to be perfect again, the way the Bane made me.
Yeah, he basically uses him being perfect against Sarah. Basically saying, do you want me to be this messy, sloppy teen, or do you want me to be super perfect, super genius boy? Honestly, top tier manipulation there from Luke, and that's red flag, massive red flag. Anyways, they all arrive at the gallery, and this is where we meet the curator, Mr. Harding. Very unfortunate name. His assistant, Mrs. Trupp, is a little bit too fond of Clyde. I'm not going to lie.
Now. You really are so gifted, Clyde. Cheers. What will you did? So it's all turned out for the best.
I'm really not sure I like these slightly noncy undertones to this series, to be honest. But before Mrs. Trupp has the chance to commit any predatory crimes, she confesses her love for Mr. Harding. This is when she gets kidnapped by the Mona Lisa? WTF? It looks a little silly though, doesn't it? Clyde's art is then unveiled and it looks like every generic modern day AI piece of art. Anyway, Hardman gets ready to unveil the newly obtained Mona Lisa to the kids. Oh my word. Yes, the Mona Lisa has been Stolen, quotation marks. Or she's gotten out of the painting. So Sarah's at home sulking about her conflict with Luke, and then she comes to the realization that the joy of motherhood will be over soon. Wow, so heckin' sad. The gallery gets put in lockdown, and Rani says they need to call Sarah Jane, but Luke's all like, no, we don't actually need her actually. I'm so angry at my mummy. She told me to tidy my room, and no, I don't actually want that, and I don't want her involved now. But it turns out that the Mona Lisa is actually earwigging this entire conversation. Back to the attic, Mr. Smith shows Sarah Jane the news to let her know that the Mona Lisa has been nabbed. Now her alien spidey senses are tingling. And of course, Mr. Smith just accesses the police databases just to get access to all of the crime scene photos. Easy peasy. He does, however, show Sarah Mrs. Trupp's dating profile, which is absolutely iconic. Her dating profile reads, she wants men aged 25 to 35, which perfectly explains her creepy tendencies, seeking both male and females. Well. Thai cookery and salsa dancing. Damn, my kind of lady. Sorry.
She says she's open-minded and willing to try.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. That will do.
Naughty, Mrs. Trupp, naughty. Mr. Smith then states that the Mona Lisa hasn't in fact been nabbed, but she's just not in the painting anymore. Ooh. Sarah then raises the all-important question.
If that's Phyllis Trupp, where on earth is the Mona Lisa?
Back at the gallery, Rani discovers that the gun from Clyde's painting has disappeared as well.
Oh, you better believe it. Sugar.
She's got my gun.
Right, the Mona Lisa, played by Saran Jones, the actress who I want to play the Doctor, comes sauntering in with a northern accent.
I am the Mona Lisa.
And this is literally never addressed, by the way. I do not understand it. Is it just for laughs? The Mona Lisa is Italian. It's not even like a subtle northern accent. It's like proper over-the-top northern accent. Even Saran Jones's normal voice isn't this northern. I also kept wondering how this Saran Jones looks so different to the other Saran Jones. And then I realised that for some weird reason, they've removed her eyebrows. Who would have thunk that the eyebrows are such an important part of a human's face?
But then Leo was a bit of a ledge, even back then.
Why does the Mona Lisa speak like this? She then starts really poorly shooting at the others with this awful fake laugh. The gang then discover that all of the police have been put into the paintings, with some of the most hilarious photoshopping I've ever seen. The Mona Lisa and Mr. Harding then have a very sexually charged conversation.
Oh, go on then. Touch me. I know you want to.
Excuse me?
Actually, every time you came, 20 seconds.
The Mona Lisa says she needs to find her brother or something. It's another painting that was painted around the same time. She somehow instantly knows that Sarah Jane is lurking, and this is where we get the funniest cliffhanger of all time.
Mum!
Big heckin' yikes. Okay, so this episode is really not good. It makes little to no sense. The Mona Lisa has this very exaggerated northern accent, and not only that, she is incredibly unthreatening that she just comes across really cringe. The paintings look goofy as heck, and there's some really weird, strange sexual undertones to this episode that makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know, I'm hoping that this picks up in the second part, because so far, I'm not impressed. Part 2.
I think we can all agree I'm in a different league.
You're too right.
Time?
Fuck's sake, we're not even 10 seconds into the episode. Luke then just assaults the Mona Lisa.
Because we can.
So she sets this Dark Rider man free. Yeah, that's definitely not a man though. That's what I'm going to say. I know, it's not very progressive of me, but I'm just going to say that's a lady in there. Anyways, more boring Chibnall aiming stuff. Yawn, yawn, yawn. We then discover that the Mona Lisa can't go outside. Her going outside turns her back into a painting. This is really interesting. I wonder if this gets used for the resolution of this episode. So it turns out that the Mona Lisa's brother is just this really terrible, horrific painting that's been locked away. Luckily, it's in the basement of this very same gallery. I could go into specific details, but this episode is just stupid and pointless. There is so much standing around, conspiring, and exposition that this episode becomes so boring. Unlike the first part where it was just so bad it was funny, this is just really boring. They just keep using the same growly sound effect with the whole, oh hi, I'm the Mona Lisa, and that's my brother. You can hear, yeah, he's so spooky and scary. Yes, as I was saying, her brother's locked away, and the only way to get to him is through this puzzle box. Go on, Harding. Damn, well done, lad. He stopped being a little simp. Hang on. Have they fully digitally removed her eyebrows here? Look, they've put a blur effect over them. Why? I get that her eyebrows may have been weak in the painting, but come on. Oh yeah, so Clyde just redraws the puzzle box from memory perfectly, by the way. Yeah, that's good. Also, she keeps doing this cross-eyed thing, and it's really annoying. So yeah, the Mona Lisa puts the puzzle box in the prison to let her brother out, and then somehow this causes the drawing of K9 to come to life. That Clyde did earlier on in the episode. So what, is there now 2 K9s then? This logic doesn't make any sense. And everyone just turns back into a painting again? I don't know. Everyone gets released and the day is saved. I mean, this episode is just a mess from start to finish. The only good thing about this episode is Mrs. Trupp rejecting the heck out of Mr. Harding.
You aren't taught.
Phyllis!
But holy schmoly, this story sucks complete butt. Surround Jones, I love you, but this wasn't it, okay? The logic behind this episode, well, there wasn't none. The villain was cringy and unthreatening. Every side character was just creepy or completely unlikable. The main gang just stand there spouting exposition and boring theories. And the second part was an absolute snooze fest. Guys, this is a real stinker of an episode, okay? I'm going to be super harsh and put this in God awful. Well, here we go, ladies and gents. The series has been building to this very episode, The Gift. This episode starts off by giving you whiplash, right? We're just getting straight into it. Sarah and the gang are chasing down this fat kid who's stolen a matter compressor or something.
They're back!
Ugh, why does it sound like that?
If Sabine are back on Earth, it means mayhem on a global scale.
Sarah, could you just at least say that with some conviction, please? So yeah, 20 seconds into the episode, the Slovenes are back. And this episode is awful to start with, right?
Sarah Jane Smith.
They've clearly got a grown Cockney bloke to play the child Slovene and then have just turned the pitch up on his voice.
Oh yeah, but I got away. And I nabbed the matter compressor.
And this other guy, he just can't act.
Not that one, idiot!
So yeah, yet again, the Slovene are here to sell the planet or something generic as always.
Switch it off, boys.
Sarah Jane Smith.
Oh, yikes, man. It's still the first 3 minutes and there's been so much cheese. And just when they're about to crush the planet or something, the gang is just stood there looking really chilled out about it. Like, come on, guys. The world's about to be crushed. But luckily, Miriam Gargales comes in to stop the Slovene.
We are Blatherine.
Oh, God, we're really doing this, are we? Yes, the Blatherine come in and really convincingly say that they are not super evil and are actually very nice, innocent family from Raxacorica Fabulatorius. They say that Sarah is super famous on their planet, so they invite her to dinner.
By sitting down to dinner.
I mean, does this not just sound suspicious to anyone? So the gang can't figure out where to have this dinner party.
Oh yeah, your mum and dad will love that.
They're at a head teachers conference. Remember? That's why I'm staying with Sarah Jane.
Yeah, something about little bits of exposition like this makes me really, really cross. I think it's just really lame. Sarah accepts the invite for dinner because Sarah has apparently not learned any lessons over the last 3 series.
Good evening, Sarah Jane.
That face is so funny. Now, this scene is supposed to be all funny because, haha, fat Slovene-looking things are munching their dinner, haha. These and these are the same species, apparently. Yeah, the fear has been completely stripped from them now. Anyway, the Blatherine apologise on behalf of the Slovenes and they offer Sarah a spooky-looking plant gift. Honestly, is no one suspicious by this at all? It's literally called rackweed. When has a weed ever been good? Apart from the sweet Mary Jane, if you know what I mean. But they are saying that this rackweed can stop famine and cure humanity and all this rubbish.
This little plant could save millions of lives.
Oh, come on, it's so obvious it's a trap!
Is this all too good to be true, or have I become totally paranoid?
Sarah, it's too good to be true! Ronnie very easily convinces Sarah to just shut up and accept the gift, so Sarah does. Which is, of course, a terrible decision.
Earth accepts.
Thanks a lot, you idiot. Thanks a lot.
Sarah explains that if she reveals this plant to the world, she'll become super famous. Mr. Smith also confirms that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The only person that is suspicious of everything is Clyde. This is the same person who was suspicious about Sarah's wedding. He apparently is the only one with a brain in this show, except for the fact that he steals K9 for a school test he has the next day. Actually kind of based, to be honest. Oh, for goodness sake. I'll tell you what though, this is a creative little shot here. I'm a big fan. Anyway, Luke goes up to the attic and then gets penetrated by these scary spores. He gets ill super quick. This is all because Sarah has been completely out of character and randomly has become so trusting for no reason. And this has also put the entire world at risk. Nice one, Sarah.
Analysis complete. The rackweed is not harmless.
Oh, cheers, Mr. Smith. Yeah, that would have been useful last night.
Will send its victims into a deep, deep coma from which they will never return.
Oh, how cheerful. This is genuinely Sarah's fault. All of this is Sarah Jane's fault. Oh no, Luke is turning into a strawberry. Oh no, now the spores are coming at Sarah. Whoa. Yeah, that's the epic cliffhanger of this episode. God, I really hate when the writers just write Sarah so out of character. In no world would she ever trust anyone from Raxacorica Fabulatorius, especially after what the Sladen done with Luke last time. And of course, every other alien that visits Ealing. I mean, seriously, come on, Sarah. Sarah's stupidity gets her son pretty much put into a coma and the rest of the world is about to suffer the same fate. The only person that had any sort of brains in this episode was Clyde. This episode is hella cheesy and it's just not good. But hey, at least we've got Beep the Meep as a blatherine, or whatever they're called. The episode's attempt of comedy is not funny in the slightest. I find more humour in a clogged toilet. But hey, maybe this is just me being a really grumpy 25-year-old man. But this episode is one big ball of cheese and cringe. Alright, part 2 better be amazing. Part 2. Oh, don't worry guys, Mr. Smith just has this convenient ventilation system that he had tucked away. Yeah, he tries to explain it away like, oh, every computer has ventilation systems, but this is just a tad too convenient for me. Whatever, I am aware that I am being super duper grumpy right now. He then explains that Luke is not far away from being absolutely game ended. Damn.
Oh, and that's why you love me.
Dream on, Clyde. Dream on.
Wait, are they going for a romantic angle with Clyde and Rani here? I do not remember this. Anyways, the plants then hit the school and this teacher gets absolutely clotted with spores. Now to the thing I hate most about this episode, the cinematography. Oh my god, it's like someone from Torchwood got involved with this because it's crammed with these god-awful zooms that are meant for like impact and drama, but it just looks terrible. And it turns out that the Blatherine are just chilling in Antarctica. This is where we learn their true plan. They are addicted to rackweed and they want to turn the planet into a rackweed farm. Are you guys getting what I'm saying here? They are literal stoners. The Blatherine are stoners. But don't worry guys, Sarah just has this massive vinegar gun in her suitcase. Well, that's just lucky, isn't it? And then she somehow just teleports to Antarctica. These conveniences are just coming out of every nook and cranny. Luke calls Rani just to tell her about his man flu and then he just dies. But luckily, K9 is with Clyde and Rani. This is the only convenience that actually works in this story because it was actually set up. Anyway, the Blatherines start gaslighting Sarah Jane again and she falls for it.
Please, Miss Smith.
For goodness sake, Sarah.
Addicted to it.
See, this is very super subtle commentary right here.
We are the Sladen Blatherine, the descendants of an interclan marriage.
Oh, shut up.
We'll keep you alive to watch your beloved Earth die, and then we'll kill you.
Miriam's delivery here did make me chuckle, alright, even if the dialogue is super stupid. It's then discovered that the school bell can stop the rackweed because the rackweed communicates with each other or something. Sarah manages to escape with her sonic flirt stick, and then K9 manages to clear the entire school of the rackweed. They then come up with a plan to blast the school bell and all this noise across London. Yeah, that would definitely eviscerate everyone's eardrums, but sure. But they do exactly that, and then Luke is just instantly fine? Sorry, what? That's not how illness or disease works. So you're telling me all that needed to happen was for Sarah to just get in his face and just start screaming at him. He would have been absolutely fine. This makes no sense at all. It comes to no surprise that the Blatherine get massively pissed off by this and go to Sarah's attic. Don't worry though, Mr. Smith just bells them and then they fart themselves to death. Yes, quite literally, they fart themselves to death.
They farted themselves to death.
Right, sometimes I just sit and reflect on what I'm reviewing and I just think this is ridiculous. I could be donating to charity or making the world a better place. But I'm talking about 2 prosthetic aliens who just exploded goo all over the Sarah Jane. Honestly, what am I doing? There's this whimsical ending monologue from Sarah Jane, all of them looking very happy and content as the series comes to its end.
Earth could be a shining example to the entire universe.
Yuck. So, all in all, this story sucks, but I did not enjoy this. It is way too childish. Childish for me, at least. But then I'm getting confused because am I just being a grumpy 25-year-old fully grown male, or is this genuinely too childish? But I definitely don't remember enjoying this one as a kid either. The cinematography is irritating as hell in this episode with its office zooms. The episode is plagued with convenience, and the resolution of Luke and everyone just becoming instantly better because of loud noise makes absolutely no sense. I hate this story. It's arguably one of the worst of the show. Behind the Mona Lisa episode, I'm torn about which one stunk more, but I think maybe the Mona Lisa one did. I don't know. Either way, I'm putting this episode in God awful. Well, there you guys have it. That is now the most updated version of the tier list. And this series is definitely the mixiest bag of the lot. And I think it boils down to the fact that the show seems to have lost its way a little bit. Now, what I mean by this is that most stories in Series 1 and Series 2 had a valuable lesson or meaning behind it, focusing on parenthood, broken families, growing up, being accepted. This series is just straight up childish. There's a few fun episodes sprinkled in, of course. I just think it's clear that they're running a little bit out of ideas for meaningful stories, and it's really starting to show. There's only so many times we can use Luke being a genius to save the day, and now the stories seem to be relying a bit more on K9, and it's just coming across a bit like a parody of itself at times. I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling cynical, because this was the stage that I did start to outgrow the Sarah Jane adventures, and maybe now my rose-tinted glasses are starting to slip a little bit. It's impossible to tell with these things. But what did you think? Was it the same for you? Do you think I'm being harsh? Or is it just a case that this show is starting to run out of interesting, thought-provoking episodes? I don't know, let me know. I guess we'll also have to wait for Series 4 to find out whether or not things will pick up again. But there you guys have it. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I do apologise for how long it's taken to make. I've got a myriad of excuses, one of which being that I did fall quite ill. I'm still ill now. I feel incredibly uneasy recording right now. I've got this suspected labyrinthitis, which for any of you that suffer with vertigo will know how intense and scary that can be. And not only that, my entire hard drive corrupted after I edited this the first time and lost everything, so had to do it all again. It was not fun. However, it's 2026 now. I've got huge plans for this channel. As you OG viewers know, I'm moving to Wales in March, and YouTube is going to become pretty much my full-time job. So there's lots and lots of content to come, and I really hope that you guys join me for that. So if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and of course subscribe. And if you do fancy helping out and becoming a channel member, that would also be greatly appreciated. I want to make more content for you guys this year, so I will definitely be doing that. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. It's either going to be Torchwood Series 2 or Sarah Jane Adventures Series 4. Either way, I've not decided yet. I need a bit of a break. Thank you guys, take care, and I'll see you later.